The next slide shows how to add radiators to your project. So here we are in the project. We go into the mechanical tab and we go into the piping program. This loads up the floor plans and the general information where we can decide on our piping selection rule. There's a whole range to choose from. You can enter these and edit them in the database to put your own requirements in. So for example, if we've got low temperature heating steel, you can preview. You can see we've got a flow of 82, return of 71. We're designing to 300 pascals a metre. We can be more explicit in that between 15 and 50 mil the maximum velocity will be 0.2 metres a second. So you can preview your selection criteria prior to using them. We can also apply the same with chilled water, for chilled water systems that we may add at a later date. On the Radiators tab, we can select from a range of manufacturers by selecting the Browse button. All databases are installed in the DB folder, so you select Radiators and then you can select your range of manufacturers and pick the range or the manufacturer that you want to use. This then breaks down into a series of types of radiator: single panel, double panel, column and sectional. So all we have to do is present the list and tick the radiators that we want to consider as part of the selection process. If you don't tick any of these, the program has got nothing to select from and you won't get any radiators. So you select the ranges that you want to use or that the client wants to use or likes the look of. You can then apply a radiator valve schedule based in the valve schedule. This will enable you to set all your TRVs and it will show the settings based on the type of valve you're using. And also for commissioning purposes, you can set up a valve type, and this will, once the system's been entered, calculate the index run, enable you to position the valve on the branches, and the valve will then be set. I'm going to add some radiators into this second floor open plan office. All I need to do is first select the room so that it's currently highlighted, go to the insert menu and select radiators. This brings in the radiator selection dialog box. Notice it comes up with the number of radiators 9. It looks at provisionally the number of windows. I might only want 7 windows, 7 radiators based on 7 windows. I'm going to put 3 under these windows and 4 under here. So I'm going to change this to 7 on the selection. I can impose a maximum height and I can impose a maximum length. Running the search will come up with a range of radiators that offset that heat loss requirement, and there's also a selection accuracy over and above the heat loss. So the radiators here can be selected up to a maximum of 20% above the selection accuracy. You could apply that earlier on in Edit General as a radiator margin, the same thing applies, but at least here you can see the actual figures, which gives you a more tangible selection. Prior to putting the radiators in, you can pick the connections. Currently top, bottom, opposite ends. You can change these, and you can also change the mounting height of the radiator. Again, any issues you need with the on-screen manuals, you can press F1, this brings on the manual, and you can close it again. What we can now do is place the radiator. This gives a representation of the radiator, one left hand button mouse click. There is a setting in display options that enables you to drop the radiator so it snaps to the middle of the window. If I want to place a radiator on a horizontal vertical wall or an angled wall, I can actually do a right button click to rotate the radiator. The rotation angle can be set in display options. If I wish to edit a radiator, all I need to do is double click on the radiator. This gives me the remaining output requirement. I can then initiate a search. That will then give me a different range of sizes. So if I wish to select a different size or a different height, I can do so. If I wish to cancel, again, I can do so.